Now, let's go to your arrest, which Honorable Ngola has partly spoken about. When Advocate Johnson was here, we asked her about the referral. In terms of the information at our disposal, the referral is an affidavit that is deposed to by the deponent. An affidavit of that referral was not submitted at the time when the complaint was made. So, in some, there are procedural discrepancies in your arrest. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I'm aware, Honorable Member.
When did you become aware of that?
As soon as we received the copies of the docket and then going through the whole docket, then we realized that, as I've indicated, that as the matter is at court, maybe then I won't be able to talk that much on what did we do after realizing that.
So you also noted these discrepancies?
Yes, Honorable.
Did you raise any formal complaint? Did you lodge any formal complaints in that regard or institute any legal action?
Maybe to give a round answer and say, yes, there is a process that is ongoing.
To the best of your knowledge, are those documents classified? I'm asking because we requested for some from Advocate Johnson, and she said she is not going to give us those documents because they are classified. What is your knowledge about that?
The Section 27 referral is supposed to be an affidavit.
Correct.
That is containing the prima facts from the complainant. So it can never be a classified document.
So it's a lie. It means if it was said under oath, then this committee must open a case for perjury. Because lies, if what you are saying is anything to go by, it means lies were told here in this committee. Because that's what Advocate Johnson said. I asked personally Advocate Johnson to give us that information, and she said she can't give it to us because it's a classified information. So that's a pure lie.
Yes, an affidavit, especially that is going to be used for investigation, cannot be a classified document.
The Section 27 referral that led to General Khumalo's arrest is a little bit problematic. So I've gone back to trace exactly what happened, and I have some missing pieces where I'm going to need you to help me with. So I have the timeline here. Early mid-November 2024, the matter is brought to IDEC via Cedric Gabinde, the Chief of Staff to the Minister of Police. Andrea Johnson said she pushed back because that was not a Section 27 referral. We're good there, no problem. 22 November 2024, the referral is an affidavit made by Adams. This is what Johnson says. She also says she does not have that referral in her possession. She refuses to disclose it to the ad hoc committee. This is where it becomes a problem, right there. 22 November 2024. Nomvalo says he has an affidavit, Section 27 referral, dated January 6, 2025, which Johnson says is a supplementary to the original, but Nomvalo says whatever he is reading doesn't show that it is a supplementary. Problem right there. So now let's listen to what Andrea Johnson says happened with this Section 27.
You said General Khumalo was arrested as a consequence of a referral that was made by Honorable Adams.
Correct.
And Honorable Adams made that referral in terms of Section 27. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, when was this referral authorized?
The referral was made on the 22nd of November. The investigation itself was authorized on the 6th of December.
So it was authorized on the 6th of December.
That is correct. Because investigations wouldn't have been able to continue without
Yes.
the authorization, Honorable Member.
Okay. And you further said for a referral to pass or to be successful, there must be an affidavit to which the deponent has deposed. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Now, in this referral that was made in November 2024, on the 21st, was there any affidavit attached on the referral that was made in November?
The referral is an affidavit made by Mr. Adams.
And that affidavit is dated?
The 22nd of November, 2024.
Do you have it in your possession?
No, I don't.
Don't you going to be important for you? Because another problem which I have with your statement is that documents which are relevant have not been attached. Not only because to some of us, documents are helping us to cross-reference and to see if there is corroboration between your statements and the attachments that are to your statement. Now, if we just rely on a statement, and there is a precedent that has been made by witnesses who have come, they make, for easy reference, they huge bundles of attachments so that we can be able to go further in terms of making sure that we our insight. Now, my problem here is that you have not attached the relevant documents. The second document is relevant, which you have not attached, is a letter that you wrote to General the dockets in December. But let's go back to the referral. You know that a docket is a document, right?
No.
Would you agree with me if I say to you, the affidavit of Honorable Adams is dated the 6th of January, 2025.
Would be a supplementary affidavit because follow-up engagements were had by the investigating team with Mr. Adams. I did indicate as well earlier, so yes, there would be a 6 January document.
Can you be able to us with the original affidavit?
Unfortunately, Honorable Chair and members, that's not a document that I can disclose. But if there are of the other documents, this document has not even been defense, and it is one of those where even the defense would have to afford the document to be made available to them. Section 27 referral cannot be made available, but other documents that Honorable Nomvalo or any other member says should have been here, what I would ask all of the honorable members is to kindly provide the chair with a list, and those documents that can be made available should be made in the course of next week as part of a bundle, which would then be referenced according to the affidavit and then be sent to the leader for distribution. But where we are with the current, and because the Section 27 also, Honorable Nomvalo, still relates to other that are pending, the Section 27 will not be made available. I'm not being difficult, I'm just indicating that in terms of where we are in the process, I cannot make the Section 27 available.
So is it a classified document?
A classified document, as in we've written on it top secret. It is a document that seeks to initiate the intake of a matter. It is a document that, should it be disclosed, will have to first be disclosed to an accused. That document has not been made available to any of the accused. I can therefore not make any of those documents available. It is not like the charge sheet. It's not a public document.
So which...
It is a confidential document that with the intake of a matter within IDEC and how the matter is then considered for intake and then the later authorization.
Which law are you relying on to make that proposition?
I'm saying that in terms of process, we have not disclosed a Section 27 referral. It is a confidential document similar to how we have memos in the NPA and not just the documents that are not made available for public consideration.
Yeah, but which you mean, you say in terms of the process,
So
you mean in terms of the established precedent within the organization, or there is a particular law that speaks to that effect?
So I cannot give you that deals with that. Talk to the confidentiality of the document and what it purports to do. So that document is used for a very specific purpose, and it is used to initiate an intake and a referral. It's a confidential internal document.
Yeah, no, if that is the case, I think I am left helpless, but I will just put this proposition to you. The affidavit that have been exposed to is not a supplementary affidavit. A supplementary affidavit is an affidavit that makes notes of the content of the original affidavit and continues with the supplementary content that is contained in the supplementary affidavit. So the affidavit of the 6th of January 2025 is an original affidavit. I'm making that proposition to you. I can only change it if you come and information that suggests otherwise. But the information that is at my disposal is original affidavit, not a supplementary affidavit. It was signed by Mr. Barnard on the 6th of January 2025. By Mr. Adams, apologies, Honorable, Mr. Adams on the 6th of January 2025.
So on the 22nd of November 2024, we had a referral affidavit that refers the matter to IDEC and sets out in broad strokes the allegations. What I did understand from the investigating and prosecuting team, Honorable Nomvalo, is that they did a follow-up interview and statement taking with Mr. Adams on the 6th of January. So called it a supplementary affidavit. It was a follow-up affidavit. I'm not disputing what you have. They may not have written it as a supplementary affidavit.
So what was it supplementing?
So as we've gone through this process, also in MK15, what raised is what was in those dockets was not enough for one to decide. So for the further investigations to take place, a follow-up interview was held with Mr. Adams on all of the various matters to be able to get clarity and to be able to get more substance, which is what the investigating team sought to do.
Advocate, I'm worried that all what you are telling us has not been mentioned in statement. You have not told the committee that, or through your statement under oath, that there is an affidavit that was filed on the 6th beyond an affidavit that was filed in a referral application that you are referring to. So do you mean that the application, because the affidavit was signed after December, after the application was authorized for investigation, was signed in January, was signed after the application was authorized, then if that is the case, then why did you need to affidavit on the 6th of January when an application already has been signed with an affidavit that you are referring to? Because if there was an affidavit, then it means the requirements were met, requirements for the application to be authorized.
The requirements were non-valid for a preliminary investigation to be authorized. That is what was authorized. Once that is authorized, it means that the investigators can go ahead and conduct further investigations, which meant the taking of further statements and or an additional statement, whichever way you want to put it, from Adams, as well as then the obtaining of documents from wherever it is that they needed to obtain those documents. But without that, they would not have been able to do the follow-up that they did on the 6th of January.
Chair, I don't want to deprive people who want to, their hands which were up. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah, there is a standing principle that you run and finish your...
Okay. No, thank you very much, Chair. You are saying the process was, or the investigation was authorized on the 6th of December. That's what you are saying?
Correct.
And then on the same day, you issued out a letter, or you wrote a letter to General Sentumula requesting for dockets. Is that what you are saying?
That is.
Now, we have a letter in your possession.
I have.
I think Honorable Sangoni
Yes.
has also requested for it.
She
Did
has.
you
I
manage
asked-
to get hold of
I
it?
asked for the letter. Sent it is. It was sent to me on WhatsApp, which I have on my, which I can make available.
Okay.
Honorable Chair, I'm not sure if you heard me. If there are documents that any of the honorable members see, if they could kindly provide a list, so that in the course of the documents that I am able to provide will be provided to the evidence leader for dissemination.
Yeah. My second problem, Advocate, with this letter, if that is in, unless I have a different, on paragraph 1 it says, the letter is addressed to General Sentumule, and on paragraph 1 it says, the investigating director, Advocate Johnson, authorized an investigation to be conducted in terms of Section 28 of the National Prosecuting Act. Now, you have said to this committee that the referral was made in terms of Section 27.
Yes.
Now, how does Section 28 come in?
So, in terms of the process, Honorable Nomvalo, the referral is a Section 27. When we have a referral, one considers the content of the referral. For an investigation to commence, the investigating director receives an application from the team setting out the allegations, etc., and an investigation is authorized for institution in terms of Section 28. The Section 27 does not initiate the investigation. It initiates the referral and intake of a matter, which must then be adjudicated on, and then the investigating director must, if there's a decision that it must now be investigated, you must authorize an investigation.
Yeah, so what this paragraph says is that the investigation has been authorized in Section 28. So, do you mean that an investigation or of Section 27 is authorized in terms of Section 28? Is that what you are saying in summary?
In summary, yes, and that refers also to, in the state capture matters, if I can just use an example out of the Zondo Commission or any of the other commissions. If we decide to look at one of those recommendations, even though there's a recommendation, a team must still put together an application that asks the investigating director to authorize the investigation into those allegations. So, regardless of whether it's a Section 27 referral or how we source the investigation, investigations are instituted in terms of Section 28 of the NPA Act.
Investigations are in terms of Section 28. So this investigation that we are talking about here, the investigation of a referral made by Honorable Adams, was instituted in terms of which?
Section 28.
Not in terms of Section 27.
No, sir. In Section 27 is a referral. Once you get the referral, it's almost, you get a docket. If there is no A1 complainants, you find that the detectives won't go and do anything with it. If it's just a report that was handed in, they still do an affidavit, a complainant statement. And so the referral is merely for the matter to be considered for investigation.
Okay, there are headlines which were circulating. I'm not sure if you saw them. Oh, you're still answering. Okay,
Yes.
now you can
So
continue.
once that referral comes in, it is not automatic, as Honorable Nomvalo, that an investigation will be instituted. I did indicate earlier there were certain matters where there was a Section 27. We found out it is being investigated elsewhere. It was referred there. Or there were matters that didn't fall within the mandate of IDAC, and those were not taken. But we then engaged with the person who made the referral and pointed them in the direction of somewhere else in law enforcement that it can be. So we don't just say no, we also refer them there.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
So on the 6th of December, how many letters were sent for dockets?
I would have written the letter to General.
Yes.
Did ask my office to indicate that the letters of Mr. Rapesu, Honorable Sangoni, whether or not I signed those letters. He's indicated me the copies that I would have signed those letters. So those letters did go from my office. I could only, as I sat here, from what I recollect the letter that I sent to General Sentumule. And where there's matters of that, they're on the side of caution and bring letters to the head of office, and if I'm not there, to the head of to sign.
Okay, so didn't you send another letter to on the same date with same content to Provincial Commissioner of Major General Khumalo?
That is what I was explaining, Honorable Nomvalo, that initially when they were posed to me by the Sangoni, I only recall the letter to Lieutenant General Sentumule. The office has sent me the copies of the letters that were then, which means that when the communications were had with Rapeso and he was told to whom to the letter, they would then have asked that the letter be addressed to the Deputy Provincial Commissioner, which is Major General Khumalo for Gauteng, and from the letter, he had brought the letter to my office.